Exists. I am Farmer Mara. The Lady God has been showing mercy back to back. This is my testimony highlight. Due to time, I cannot give the full details of this testimony. On the 7th of July 2022, Pastor Jerry now said that write down 7 things that you want God to do for you and be specific on the date. I wrote down the 7 things I want God to do for me, and I was specific on the date. And I just closed the journal and left it there and forgot about it. Inside that journal, I wrote, I'll meet my husband and get married 2023, before the end of 2023. I wrote that my brother will travel abroad. I wrote a lot of things. I just wrote it. As at that point, I was not in any relationship. Fast forward to 2023, February. Yes, I was on duty in the hospital and decided to go online. And that was how my husband found me. We started chatting, and by April of the same 2023, we met in person. We met my family. My parents approved the union. By June, I arrived at Lagos for our court wedding. But I arrived a day before. That day before, I decided I should go to the lab to go and do a test. We already booked with the hospital, so we both ran the test. When we ran the test, they told us that the result is going to come out the next day, first thing in the morning before the court wedding. I said, okay. When the result came out, it turned out that he was positive to hepatitis C. We're surprised, where did it come from? How? And then we went for the court. It turned out successful. On his way back to Kwara State, I said, okay, since you're going back, let's use this opportunity and move my things. I had a lot of things. I decided that, okay, we are going to use bus. On his way, he had an accident. It was a fatal accident. When you see the accident, you see that it was programmed to kill him because he was in front with the driver. But God did not let that happen. Instead, he broke a bone. That accident happened a week before our wedding. He was rushed to the hospital, thought he did the surgery, but we did the wedding. We got married on the 29th of July, 2023. After the wedding, while we were still in Port Harcourt, I had already booked an appointment with a gastrointestinologist concerning the hepatitis. We traveled back to base, and then when we traveled, he went for dressing to dress the wound that we thought they did surgery, because they told him they did surgery. While they were dressing the wound, he was screaming, and I was like, why is he screaming? Let me go and check what they are doing to him. So I me to come and check and find out that his bone was outside. I said, what do you mean? Who is the doctor that did the surgery? Now I went to go and meet the doctor. The doctor now apologized and said he did not really do the surgery. He just tried to mend the flesh and the bones. I said, but you charged him for surgery. He now apologized and referred us to a private orthopedic hospital. When we went to the private orthopedic hospital, the doctor started talking. He said that you have to pay this amount and pay that amount. I was like, excuse me, sir. We just got married a few days ago. This amount you're calling is too much. Where are we going to get the money? Moreover, I've left my job in Enugu. I've come to this town. Are you going to employ me? And the doctor was like, what are you? I said, I'm a pharmacist. And I said, please submit you. We have been looking for pharmacists for a while. Please submit your application. So see what God did. God gave me a job instantly. And then I said, since you're going to be a staff, we are going to subsidize the fee and charge or bill you as a staff relative. The next day, I started working in the hospital. It took me a while to settle down and unpack my things in my new home. But one day while I was unpacking my books, I got to see the jotter where I wrote down those things, those 7 things that I wanted God to do for me. Just when I was now going through them, the jotter, and I said, oh my God, God actually answered all the things that I wrote down, and I did not even know. This altar, they work. The next thing I told God, if you can take away this hepatitis that came from nowhere, I am going to boldly give this testimony to the glory of God. I now told my husband that, let us go and run the test. No, he got reluctant. This is a test that we have done numerous times, and he showed us positive. He agreed. We both did the test, routine check. In that test, I told the person she should add hepatitis to the test, hepatitis C. When the person did the test, Pastor Jerry, it turned out negative. I said, when the result came out, the way I screamed, he said, how will you shout? The way I screamed, I said, God, what God cannot do does not exist. You know, being a health person, I said, wait, let it not be that it is a mistake from this lab. I'm going to use another very recognized lab and run the test again. After a while, I waited for like 2 weeks. My husband went again to another lab, very notable lab, and went to go and do the test again. In fact, this time I said, let it not be that I'm making a mistake. Let us do hepatitis B and hepatitis C. Let it not be that maybe it has swing. This is the result. They both turned out negative. Pastor Jerry, may God continue to bless you. May God continue